Evet, devam ediyoruz. Ama hakikaten enteresan bir Dünya Kupası olacağı kesin. Yani söylediği gibi Saud Bey'in sabah çıkacaksınız gruplarda. Bir de yanlış hatırlamıyorsam bu Dünya Kupası 48 takımdan oluşacak değil mi? 48 takımın mücadele edeceği ilk Dünya Kupası olacak. 32'den 48'e çıkacak. 8 tane stat kalkacaksınız. Bir A grubunda İngiltere-Portekiz maçını seyredelim. Efendim C grubunda İsveç-Türkiye maçına gidelim akşam üzeri. Akşamda bir Almanya-Japonya maçını seyredelim deyip televizyonda yapacağınız bütün işlemleri giderek kendi kendinize statta gerçekleştireceksiniz. Ve bir başka konu başlığımız Dinamo Zagrep Genç Oyuncu Akademesi Başarı, Metodu ve Vizyonu. Dinamo Zagrep 14 yaş altı Teknik Direktörü Sayın Ivan MIJAC.
Watch your back, watch your back.
Watch is coming.
Thank you.
Evet, hoş geldiniz.
I will put this here.
Yes, please.
Maybe for later.
Could you use them? Oops.
No, I don't need that.
Maybe I'm gonna ask you.
Now, okay. Please.
Duyuyor musunuz beni?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
peki. Öncelikle tekrar hoş geldiniz.
Thank you so much for your invitation. It's a big pleasure to be here in front of you, in front of all this audience.
Teşekkür ederiz. Dinamo Zagreb Hırvatistan Ligi'nde lider şu anda değil mi?
Yeah, for sure.
Tabii, zaten başkasını düşünülemez.
For sure.
Yani. Tabii.
Thank you.
Tabii aslında ilk çıkış sanıyorum Zadar ama daha sonra hemen Dinamo Zagreb değil mi? Luka Modric. Altyapı olarak.
No, in this moment, I think we are the same.
Hemen. Yani Luka Modric'in Dinamo Zagreb altyapısından
Sorry, I didn't hear the question very well. But yeah.
var mı yeni Modric'ler?
I'm not gonna say that.
Peki. Kolay gelsin.
Thank you so much for your introduction. I didn't hear everything because I didn't have the phones, but I think that introduction was much impressive than my professional football career as a player. But that doesn't mean that the coaching career is not going to be better. So even before I start with the presentation of our philosophy and our vision in Dinamo Zagreb Football Club and Dinamo Zagreb Youth Academy, I want to say something. This is not the recipe. This is not the way how you need to work or the way what you need to copy and then be successful. Our philosophy and our vision is based on a few different factors. Based on the country where you live, based on a culture where you live, based on a football culture where you live. So first of all, today, I'm going to show you presentation in 4 different aspects. The first part is going to be academy in the world terms. That's the main reason why am I here today, standing in front of you. Maybe some of you don't know about Football Academy of Dinamo Zagreb. Today, I think you're going to change your knowledge. The second part is going to be our organization inside our youth academy. The third part is going to be the path to the first team. So you're going to see every age group separately till the first team. And the fourth part is going to be the most important part, our methodology. I can take you 3 days just to speak about methodology. So today, I'm going to be a little bit more precise and try to speak about that much less. So first of all, academy in the world terms, or better say image, brand we have in the Europe and in the world. Unfortunately, in the last 15 years, our youth academy had better image than our first team. This year, we changed things a little bit. Our head coach is going to have a presentation later, and he's going to tell you that first time in 49 years, we passed to the second stage of Europa League. So, first of all, 2012 European Club Association named us one of the best study youth academies in the Europe, based by the 4 different criteria. I already said, vision and philosophy, infrastructure, organization, and your own methodology, your curriculum. So, 2017, they made the research, and in this moment, we are, we are the second most productive youth academy in the Europe. So that means in 31 professional first leagues all around the Europe, we had 67 players. This summer, we increased that number by selling few very potential young players to the bigger clubs in the Europe. If I want to speak specifically about the names, it's going to be much easier for you to understand how good and successful we are in what we are doing by developing young players. These are just some of the players we developed in our youth academy in the last 15 years. So all of these players spend at least 5 years in our young teams during their development. For sure, in this moment, our best representative is Luka Modric, best player in the world for 2018. Also, I had a privilege to watch presentation in the morning, and I saw that he was, by statistic, one of the best midfield players in the World Cup. But the World Cup is something totally different. Also, between the Luka Modric, is very important to say that in this World Cup, in our national team, we had 24 players. 14 of them were players who used to play for Dinamo Zagreb, first team. But more important, 11 of them were players who we developed in our youth academy. So I don't want to be arrogant, but tell me the club who had more players in the World Cup in their national team than we. And we are very proud of that. In the last 2 finals of UEFA Champions League, we had at least 3 players developed in our youth academy on a pitch. So 3 players of 22 players in the last 2 finals of UEFA Champions League. The second part of my presentation today is going to be organization. Everybody say that sometimes organization is half of the work, yeah? So, if we speak about our youth academy, the main in charge is academy director, but he delegates different responsibility in 3 different parts. The first part, the part where I work, is a coaching staff. So from every age group, you're going to see later our age groups, you have coaches, but specialized coaches for every age group. You have coaches for individual work, goalkeeper coaches, and you have fitness coaches. For sure, in the age group, because I know that a lot of you are coaches, in the age group U8 till the age group U12, U13, we are not speaking about fitness coaches. We are speaking about coaches for motorical abilities. Because from the age group U-13, U-14, you start to work on a functional capacities. The second part of our academy is management staff. So we have coordinator from the younger age groups, U8 till the age group U11. We have coordinator from the age group U12 till the age group U14. We have a database administrator. This season, we start with a new software, with a new base, where we're going to have every small detail about every player, about every team, about every coach. And finally, we have a match analysis. The third part of our youth academy is medical staff. We have 2 club doctors who only work for academy. We have physiotherapists, 5 of them are professionals. And also we have 1 psychologist who's working with the team, with the player, with the coach. If I'm going to speak about one specific age group, for example, this season I work with U14. In the process of training, of developing team and individual player, you have at least 4 till 6 persons, different persons. So in this moment, I'm a head coach, also having an assistant coach, also having a coach for motorical and fitness coach, coach for individual work, goalkeeper coach, and then we have medical staff. For sure, I'm not going to lie you, if you come tomorrow to our academy and watch our training session, you're not going to see all these persons on a pitch. But all these persons needs to know everything in every moment about that age group with who they work in specific moment. When we speak about our general objectives of our youth academy, the first and the most important for us is developing healthy lifestyle habits. Together with our Ministry of Health, we made the research. And for example, they show us two big problems. The first problem is that if you compare a kid who is now 8 years old with a kid who is 8 years old but 20 years ago, you're going to see that kid today is in the beginning 2.5 kilos heavier than that kid 20 years ago. That's the first problem. The second problem, 20 years ago, kids U8, population of kids U8, didn't have flat feet. Maybe 13% of them had flat feet. Today, it's between 50 and 70%. Why am I telling you that? Because our youth academy make first selection from the age group U8 till the age group U14 only in the area of city of Zagreb. City of Zagreb is a city with maybe 1 million people. If I'm going to be precise, in this moment, in city of Zagreb, you have 10,200 football players. Just 9,000 of them are kids from the age group U8 till the age group U19. And for example, if I need to make selection in the age group U8, then I already had a problem, because maybe from that 9,000, 2,000 of them are kids U8. And almost every second of them have a problem with the flat feet. First problem. The second problem, almost every of them is overweight. So this is our main objective. That's the reasons why is that our main objective. The second objective is training youngsters to be good people. Because you need to realize, in football academies, you are not developing team. It's totally different in the first teams. You develop individual player. So what's going to happen with the rest of them? Maybe they're going to stay in football, play professionally, first, second division, or going to live without football. So we need to prepare them with life without football. The third objective is helping children to be happy in sport. It doesn't matter if it's going to be football in this moment, or in next 5 years, he's going to transfer and start to play basketball. The fourth objective is responsibility in daily school obligation. our psychologists show us that it's a big correlation between success in school and success in youth academy. So if you are good organized in school, it's going to be much easier for you to follow different demands in each category during your process of development in our youth academy. And the fifth objective is developing player or players for first team. That's the last objective. If I'm going to speak about path to the first team, so how you become a player for the first team in Dinamo Zagreb, I need to speak about a lot of different categories. So you could see here behind me, then in this moment, we have separate every age group. Every age group is separated. That doesn't mean that inside a team, you don't have a player who is potential to be in the group older. And he's going to go and work with a group older, with the older group. But usually we have every group separate till the age group U-18, U-19. We combine them together because the physical difference between them are not that big. Technical and tactical demands are not that big. They pass through crazy phase of puberty, so the mental abilities are also very similar, and that's not the problem then to combine them. When we speak about organization by the number of training sessions, Jurgen Klopp said a fantastic thing one day. He said, okay, I believe in transfers, but even more, I believe in training process. So our main thing was how much and how good we're going to train every day with every age group. So you can see behind my back that from the age group U8 till the age group U11, we have 4 training sessions per week plus match. Usually, the level of competition is not that big. So we have problems, and usually we arrange a lot of friendly matches against teams who are at least 1 year older than our team. From the age group U12 till the age group U13, we have 5 training sessions, approximately 7.5 hours maximum of official, effective training work. Age group U14, U15, 5 training sessions plus match, but duration of the training session is much, much longer, approximately between 75 and 19 minutes. And in the age group U16 till the age group U19 and the B team, 5 or 6 training sessions, depending on a specific macro cycle. When we speak about our methodology, I already said, this is not the recipe. This is our vision, our philosophy. And in this moment, our philosophy shows us good results. But that doesn't mean that we don't change that sometimes. For example, in the last 2 years, we changed a little bit our curriculum. We saw the things who didn't work, how we suppose it's going to work, and we changed that. Because you're going to see later that we also need to follow the trends in which sport is developing. I heard in the morning the colleague said that I saw Croatia, for example, of 7 matches. In 6 matches, they were a team with better possession, but only 1 match without better possession, and we finished second. Opposite to them, I saw France. From 7 matches, they had possession only in 3 matches. So what that means? That we need to change everything if we want to be successful. No. It's a lot of other aspects. So we only trying to think about ourselves and always see in which phase we can develop even more. So this is the global requirements of our development program. From one side, you have a team. From other side, you have individual player. But I already said, our goal is not develop the team. It's impossible. You need to develop individual. But it is impossible without the help of the whole team. If you combine these two things, you get a team with personality. Also, in these moments, we need to follow trends in which sport is developing. For example, technically, tactically, physically, mentally. We need to think long term. So that doesn't mean that I'm going to judge my player only how he good is now. I need to watch him a little bit detail more. Because I don't care how good you are now and how successful you are now and how many awards you won, for example, in international tournament in Turkey, in the age group U-14. I don't care. I want to see you in the first team. That's going to be the best picture how good you are. And the third is Dinamo style of play. That's something was fixed when we speak about Youth Academy. We don't change that. We don't change that. I don't care what's the statistic of the last World Cup. It doesn't mean that that's not important. But the World Cup is something totally different. And the most important is desire and stability. I always said that you don't need to be special to have these two things. I don't know what is talent, and I don't use the word talent, because if you ask me definition of the talent, I don't know to tell you. Usually, I said talent when I'm stupid and don't know how to describe specific action of one player. Then I use the talent. Usually, I use the word potential. And one of the things you always have in your potential is desire and stability. So believe in what you are doing. That doesn't mean that you don't need to change something sometimes, but usually believe in what you are doing. So now I'm going to pass through our methodology a little bit detail about every specific age group, and when we speak about technique, tactic, and small part of fitness, because I'm not specialized in that aspect. So first phase of our development when we speak about technique is individual technique. In our criterion to select player, the most important is technique, then tactic, and then we can speak about motorical abilities or fitness abilities. Also about psychological aspects. So first phase is individual technique. And in this phase, we split more than 70 technical elements, simple technical elements, in 4 different age groups. So every year, you're going to learn few more new technical elements. So from the age group U8 and age group U9, first and the most important is having fun by playing football. Trying to learn about the game by playing, but also trying to learn technical elements by the game and isolated. Why isolated? I know it's the easiest way for the coach. Put the cone here, put the cone here, put the cone here. Stand beside and watch. But the number of repetition, biomechanic of that movement is the easiest way to see through these conditions. But on the same time, in your brain, you try to create new engrams. Engrams are some motorical programs. So if you have, for example, 2 million of repetition, fast receiving and passing the ball, in one moment, your brain will not use anymore that kind of energy for that action. So that means that you're going to free your brain for something else. That something else in our Youth Academy is creativity. If you start to automatize or specialize something early, later you're going to have much more time to show your creativity. When we speak about tactic in these small age groups, we just speak about information or advices, how you can score the goal or how you can prevent by not conceding the goal. I'm not going to lie you. The kid is the most happier when he scores a goal. He's the most happier. I'm not telling you about the result. I'm telling you about the scoring, the goal. And also, when we speak about psychological aspect, no pressure. No pressure. You need to do this, you need to do that. No, it's not that. When we speak about system of play, I hate system of play. I need to be honest, because I think that the system of play is just my phone number, honestly. But because of our football association, they told us, okay, in that age group, you need to have 6 players on the field plus 1 goalie. So this is our system of the play. We have a goalie, we have 3 at the back, 1 midfield player and 2 attackers. But the most important from the tactical aspect is that they rotate through all positions, including the goalkeeper. I had a goalkeeper who was perfect striker, and we had a lot of problems, but on the same time, very, very good goalkeeper. So we had a problem, was he's going to play? And how strange is to have primary position of the goalkeeper and his secondary position is going to be attacker. For example, in the age group U10, U11, this situation is a little bit different. Dexterity and speed with ball and without the ball. Still learning to play football, but as a street football, you know. Small number of players, small field. I was traveling all around our country, and every year I see less and less and less children playing football on the street. That's not good. That's not good. And also we have a problem that today is very hard for kids, for example, in the age group U10, to play street football against kid U13. 20 years ago, that was normal. Nobody was asking you about how good you are or how bad you are. How he's going to have approach with you, for example, if he's going to be nice with you, your teammate, or he's going to tell you something bad. Today is totally different, but still we are trying to imitate street football. The third, when we speak about technique, trying to use and to learn technical elements, but also through the game, and also isolated. Because when they're going to play 1v1, what is the base, they're not going to think about the dribbling. They're going to think how he can explore his creativity by the number of dribblings. And when we speak about psychological aspect, just play. Just play, still no press, no press. When we are playing the game on a training sessions, no specific demands. No specific demands. For sure, you need to follow some rules, but don't kill their creativity in this age group by a lot of specific details. When we speak about organization, we need to play 8 players on a field plus goalie, and usually we play at 3 at the back, 2 midfield players, and three attackers. So now I'm going to move to the second stage of our technique. There's the basic principles of dynamic and functional technique. Dynamic and functional technique means that you need to manifest all that 70 technical elements, but through movements, with speed, with accuracy. Also, the difference between younger age groups and this group is that from the age group U12, we start to play on a big field. And this is the period when we start to introduce them our system of play. And the more important, our style of play. When we speak about demands and objectives, that means, first of all, learning to play players as a flat back, 4 players at the back, because we think that this is the only thing what's left from the old systems and formations. Also, learning them to manifest that dynamic and functional technique the most impossibly accurate and precise. Also, follow the sensitive phases for the developments and start with the individual work with the coaches for individual work. When we speak about our style of play, was the most important. First, we need to think about the culture, Croatian culture. Usually in the history, we always had the players who are very gifted technically. So why not to use that? We still think that the situation is the same now. Also, if you try to play progressive ball possession, that means that inside your team, almost everybody is going to touch the ball. If we speak about continued attack, that continued attack allows you to transfer player from one line to the other line. Start to make, for example, numerical superiority. Also, is it easier to score a goal? Because we saw in the analysis of the World Cup, a lot of goals were made from counter-attack. So it's easier to score a goal from counter-attack than when you play continued attack. But we want to play continued attack. Because in the younger age groups, you need to leave them outside the comfort zone. If he knows, the player, that he can score the goal easily or create scoring chances easily, he's not developing. Every day, every second of the training session, move him outside his comfort zone. So what I'm going to tell you, that it's much harder to score a goal when you have a low block of your opponent and when you need to find some of the solution. I saw on an analysis in the morning that the best way to score the goal is outside the box. You know, if you have Neymar and he can score the goal from the, I don't know, 25 meters. But usually it's very hard. Also, that style of play is the best for development. And finally, when I put the statistic numbers, for example, comparing the best football leagues in this moment, Spain and England Premier League, usually they have 17 passes between team before they lose the ball. 17 seconds. They have 5 passes before they lose the ball. But the best teams in Spain and England Premier League have the ball in his feet 20 or 25 seconds. They have more than 9 passes before they lose the ball. So that shows us that the best teams play that kind of football. Also, one of the best coaches ever, or managers, Alex Ferguson, said that you can't win Premier League if you don't have at least 500 passes every match. These are just statistical numbers. Because I said the statistical number is like bikini. He can show you something, but still not all. These are the basic principles when we speak about technical and tactical aspect. I'm not going to tell you exactly all of them because later we're going to pass through every age group with that. In the age group U12, U13, I already said happiness and creativity during playing the match. Training the basic elements in various situations. Start to train individual tactic. But when we speak about individual tactic, then just how to stay and how to behave in different free spaces. We start with methodology of group tactics between 2 and 3 players in defense and in offense. And the most important by psychological aspect is try to be focused, motivated, concentrated. So that means serious during the training sessions. When we speak about some global guidelines, we start with the individual work in that phase. Our system, I already said, is not the most important, but usually we play goalie, 4 at the back, 3 midfield players, and 3 attackers. This system shows us that it's the most successful system for us because it creates a lot of geometry inside the system. Triangles, rhombs, but on the same time, offensive system. When we speak about defense, usually we use the formation with back flat 4 players, 1 defensive midfield players, 4 midfields, and then one attacker. Age group, U-14, U-15, the most complicated group. The most complicated group. From one side, you ask them to stabilize. Sorry. Something went wrong. In the age group, U-14, U-15, you're asking from them to stabilize their performance on a match and during the training. But on the other side, it's a puberty. So they grow up faster. And it's a big problem in the body and in the mind. But usually, we start to work with methodology of dynamic and functional technique in cooperation between 2, 3, and 4 players. When we speak about tactic, it's still individual tactic, and start with the group tactic between 2, 3, and 4 players. It doesn't matter in which relation. It's going to be horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. Also, develop responsibilities of individual player and of the whole team on a football field and outside the football field, because every player of Dinamo Zagreb represents his club on a field and outside the club. Me as a coach doing the same on a field and outside the field. When we speak about psychological demands, then learning stable working habits. And now we're going to go for the third phase of our development concept when we speak about technique. That's the dynamic and functional technique, but manifest through different situations, specific situation and competition. In that age groups, we start to care more about the result. Because I'm not going to lie you. Is it easier to convince the kid that he's on the right track if you are winning or if you are losing every match? But on the same time, Jurgen Klopp said a brilliant thing. Result is very important, but for a table. Our performance during the training session is the match is more important for our development. So in this phase, we have age groups U17, U19. And demands, when we speak about technical, tactical, and psychological, are a little bit different. We want to stabilize our work on the field and off the field. We're going to finish with individual tactic. We're going to take care more about group tactic, and even more, we're going to start doing with collective tactic. Also, we're going to start to speak more about different specific demands for every position on a field. And always training the game or training session under press. When we speak about the game, is always the game with demands. So it's not anymore a free game. That doesn't mean that you cannot show your creativity. But for sure, it's much easier to show your creativity in the final third, when you don't care if you're going to lose the ball, or in the build-up third, when you need to show your responsibility. And finally, the B team, second team. This is the project who we start in the last 4 years. Why? Because we had players, for example, in the age group U18, U19, who are technically, tactically, physically very good to play in the first team. But the problem was with the mental attitude, with the mental attitude. So we said, okay, let's try to find the solution. And that's the B team, because the level of stress is much lower than in the first team. The media don't follow you like when you are playing in the first team. The level of competition is not that good, is not that hard, because they start to compete in the third division. Same year, they won the third division, and now playing in the second division, national division. And in this moment, they are first. But it's not that important. It's important that at this moment, our first team is also here in Belek on a pre-season, and I think that we have at least 10 our players from our academy training here with the first team. These are the global guidelines. I already said we are focused, when we speak about tactic, we are focused about collective demands. we are focused about every specific position on the field by technical, by tactical, by physical demands. And we start with a real professional life, with the contracts and all other things. And finally, I'm going to summarize all of this. When we speak about concept of defense, is the same. First, you take care about individual technique. Then, in the second phase of the age group U12, U13, you start with a corporation between 2, 3, and 4 players. And then from the age group U16, U17, you start to work on team defensive principles. When I speak about offense, this is our secret. 24 different demands for continued attack, for progressive ball possession. From the age group U8 till the age group U17, U16, U17. Then you start by periodization when we speak about situational and competitive principles in different numerical relations from 3v3, 4v4 till the whole pitch. And finally, if you're going to ask me to describe our academy by one word, it's going to be simplicity. It's going to be simplicity. Do simple things, but do that simple things on a detail. And be the best in that simple things. I'm going to finish with this. And I think that today you had an opportunity to see our way of working. Our way of working. I hope you're not going to copy that, because that's not going to be good. You can take something, but the circumstances are totally different. Thank you so much, or how you say, teşekkür. Yeah, thank you.
Evet. Gerçekten süper bir sunumdu. Do you wear headset? Duyuyor musun beni Ivan?
Yes.
Okay. Evet, şimdi sevgili Ivan hakikaten çok yararlı bir sunum yaptı. Teşekkür ediyoruz. Hem Ivan'a hem de belli ki hem Dinamo Zagreb'in altyapısı, dolayısıyla Dünya Kupası'nda ikinci olan Hırvatistan milli takımının da bir şekilde altyapısı olması itibariyle bir de Hırvatistan'ı da kutlayan şiddetli bir alkış rica ediyorum sizlerden.
Thank you.
Sanırım bu alkıştan sonra 2008'i unutmuşuzdur.
No. Congratulate you for that, yeah? You were better. So how was this World Cup for you?
Avrupa Şampiyonası. Olmadı.
Yeah, I don't hear the translator.
O ince bırakmalar var şimdi, ara paslar var demek ki. Peki, bir antrenör arkadaşımız şunu sordu. Ivan, beslenme konusunu nasıl hallediyorsunuz? Çok kısaca. Çünkü günümüzde çok fazla beslenme seçenekleri var. Doğru beslenme için nasıl yönlendiriyorsunuz altyapıyı?
Yeah. Okay, first of all, I would answer on that question, but I'm not the specialized by that, because inside our academy we also have a nutrition who take care about that from the youngest age groups, but we introduced her in the last 3 years. So every age group, but more specifically from the age group U10, start to take care about that, about the things they eat, they drink. Also, they take care a lot, especially in the older age groups, about supplementation and all that. But generally, in this moment, we have one nutritionist who do a lot of workshops with the players to learn them how to live real life, and one of the aspect, a real professional life, and one of the aspect is also nutrition. So in this moment, we take care about that by nutrition specialists. And usually, every team group have specific tasks by the food and supplementation for the day of the match and all that.
20 yaş öncesi, 20 yıl önceki Dinamo Zagreb'li futbolcunun ilgi alanlarıyla bugün arasında büyük farklılıklar var. Sadece sosyal medya bunlardan bir tanesi. Ve edinilen kazançlar da çok farklılaştı. Dolayısıyla çok büyük paralar kazanma öncesindeki futbolcularınızı bu büyük paralarla yaşama öncesinde mental olarak nasıl eğitiyorsunuz? Belki de en önemli konulardan birisi.
I already said we are not preparing them specifically for that. We are preparing them for life without football. Usually, we always develop 2 or 3 players who earn a lot of money and became top-class players. But then they are not anymore in our environment. Then they are more inside the environment of the family, of the other culture maybe, or the agents, or something like that. So it's very tough for us to prepare them how you're going to live the life with a lot of money. It's easier for us to prepare them how you're going to live life without that. But usually they are very, very good kids, they are very good players, and still they have a lot of respect, especially for the club, for their ex-teammates, and for the coaches who used to work with them. And that's the most precious for us in this moment.
Çok önemli. Peki metot sizin mi yoksa patenti sizin mi yoksa siz bir başka yerden mi bu metodu aldınız?
It's our method.
Bu sizin metodunuz. Peki bir kez daha kutluyoruz. Bir soru rica edeceğim çünkü gerçekten çok dar bir zamanımız var. Son oturuma geçeceğiz. Buyurun siz kaldırdınız hemen. Kendinizi tanıtarak.
Berk Kırlıkovalı. Perde arkasında olan bir konuya değineceğim. Hırvatistan'da federasyonunuz milli eğitimli işbirliği içerisinde mi? Çünkü bu bizim ülkemizde büyük bir problem. Oyuncular 15 yaşından sonra okuldan alınıp açık lise tarzında okunuyor. Çünkü antrenmanlar, ekstra
tamam.
özel antrenmanlar
Sadece
gibi.
şunu soralım. Yani milli eğitimle, okulla bu işi nasıl entegre ediyorsunuz? Bu bir birliktelik var mı orada? Değil mi? Olur. Sorumuz bu değil mi? Evet.
First of all, the most important family, school, and then football or sport. So that's the most important. We never took the player outside of school to train. So we organized our training sessions always for them so they could follow normal our plan and the program together with the program at schools. That's the first. The second, I don't know if our football association is in correlation with our Ministry of Education, but we as a club, we are. We are, and we are doing a lot of in that segment. So we could help the players, for example, to follow program at school, normal school, and on the same time have a time, free time, to train football in our academy. That's from our point of view. So it's correlation between our club and Ministry of Education. But I cannot answer you what's the situation between Football Association, Croatian, and Ministry of Education.
Sizden Türkiye'deki herhangi bir kulüp şu metodolojiyi istese bunu bir PDF dosyasıyla verir misiniz?
No.
Vermezsiniz. Peki. Tamam. Peki. Teşekkür ediyoruz değerli konuklar. zamanımız daralıyor. Sevgili Osman Tezcan'ı davet ediyorum. TÜFAD Genel Merkez Yönetim Kurulu üyesi. Anıya dair bu hediyemizi vermek üzere.
Thank you.
Peki, çok teşekkürler.
Thank you.
Sağ olun. Ve